All right, we good. I got to check, make sure I'm live. You know what I'm saying? But appreciate y'all for watching, man. Whoever come in, I appreciate y'all. But listen, let's get down to the biggest question from Colorado. Where is Travis Hunter getting drafted? Now we all know he just won the Heisman Trophy. Projected top three, potentially top four or five pick. But it's a couple teams, me as a fan, don't want him to go to just because of the culture of the team, and maybe they won't let him play both ways. Now, one of those teams is the Cleveland Browns. Now, going to the Cleveland Browns, culture wise, everybody know they're probably the end of your career if you if you go there, unless you Miles Garrett. But you know what I'm saying. But the quarterback situation, man, they need a quarterback bad. They need a quarterback bad. They probably made one of the worst deals for a quarterback in NFL history, besides Jamarcus Russell signing when he got drafted number one overall with the Raiders, and they paid him all that money. You know, that before they had a rookie salary cap. But Deshaun Watson, bro, like 230 million guaranteed. Come on, Browns. We had all them allegations and all that, but that's my whole reason why I don't want Travis to go there. They don't have the quarterback. They need a quarterback. I know they did trade for Kenny Pickett, whatever his name is, from the Eagles. You know, he was a starter for the Steelers for a minute, but then they traded for him. They still got Deshaun Watson on the books. They probably gonna release him after this year because they gonna pay him. He gonna have 81 million dollar cap hit for next season after this season, not this coming up season, but the season after that. He gonna have an $81 million cap hit. So they probably gonna release him, but they still gonna have to pay him that whole 230 million. Let they find somebody to trade him with. But I doubt that. But like I said, Cleveland, bro, no, I don't want Trevor going to Cleveland at all. You know, but you know I'm not the GM, and I'm just a fan that like Travis Hunter. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want him to go to the Cleveland Browns. I really don't. And my cousin, he just left there. They just released him, and you know he signed with the Arizona Cardinals, but he played on the Cleveland Browns. Dalvin Thomas is number 94. He on signed with the Arizona Cardinals now, but nah, man, Cleveland, nah. Then my next team, it might be surprising to some of y'all, but the New England Patriots. I do not want him to go to the Patriots. It ain't because of their culture, man. It's not because the New England Patriot culture. Because, you know, Tom Brady came in there and set that culture, and they won 6 rings with him and Bill Belichick. But, you know, they just got rid of Mayo. Then they bring in Mike Vrabel, another player that used to play with the Patriots, another linebacker, matter of fact, that used to play with the Patriots. And, you know, their quarterback situation, they got Drake May now. They had Mac Jones, you know. Now they got Drake May. Who knows how he gonna play in his second year? But Travis, I don't know. They might let him play both ways. In Cleveland, if he get drafted to Cleveland, I think they let him play both ways. But like New England, I don't know. I don't know because it's a different type traditional culture over there. Where they might want him to play one side, mainly corner probably, on that side of the ball, get good at that side, then put him at receiver. Or maybe any other team, they'll do the same thing. I don't know. They might do the same thing, make him play corner and then sparingly play receiver. But I know he gonna want to play every down, every snap like he did at Colorado, man. But I know the league, it's a different speed, different adjustment. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you going against them top receiver. If you guarding the top receiver on the other side of the ball and you trying to play offense, getting covered by the number one corner on their side of on their defensive side of the ball. You know what I'm saying? They gonna take a lot out of you because these boys, only 1% make it. So it's a reason why only 1% make it. Besides the ones that know somebody, that know somebody, that know somebody, that get put in the league and they only stay for 2-3 years, but they made it. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, them my two teams I really don't want him to see him go to. Now the two teams that I want him to go to is potentially the New York Giants, and then I'll talk about that one in a minute. But the other team would be the Jaguars. Now the reason why I say the Jaguars, he from Florida. He go back to Florida. Mainly, I like their color because they green. I like green. My favorite color is green. But I like the green. And then I really do think they would let him play both sides of the ball how he want to. You know what I'm saying? You got Trevor, you already got a quarterback, and then he'll be that dynamic playmaker that the Jaguars been missing for a long time. Maybe since Fred Taylor. You know what I'm saying? I'm going way back. Just talking all the top of my head, but he probably could be that playmaker that they've been missing on both sides of the ball, as far as like big playability. That's what I'm talking about. Big playability. Like Travis could offense, he could unlock the offense and unlock the defense. But like I said, the NFL, different speed, different talent. It's gonna take a lot to play both ways consistently, like he want to. So he probably, like I said, they probably gonna start him at corner, cause like the rare skill he has at corner is hard to find a lot. You can get a receiver to run down and run a route a certain way, but the instincts of playing corner with the ball skills, you know what I'm saying, that's rare to find. So that's why a lot of people probably saying he need to play corner and that's it. Because there were a lot of teams, a lockdown corner, Dion, Darrell Revis, Jalen Ramsey when he was good, I guess. Richard Sherman, a lockdown corner that could take away one side of the field, and you can basically don't worry about them. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna see. And the reason why I say the Giants is because they can potentially get Shador too. Also, now I know y'all like money man, how they gonna do that? I say how they do that because they could pull a trade just like the Houston Texans did back when they got C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson. The New York Giants could potentially do that, and the reason why I say that is because the New York Giants, they wouldn't have to spend as much as the Houston Texans did. The Houston Texans had the number 2 pick, drafted C.J. Stroud, and they traded back up to the number 3 pick to get Will Anderson. Now, the Giants would not have to do that, potentially, if y'all watch my last video on what's been going on, if they saying Shador is supposed to slide out of the top 10. Now, watch my last video, I said I think the Saints might get him if he slide past the Giants at number 3. I think the Saints might get him unless The Giants trade up the number one from Tennessee, and then they draft Cam Ward, and then there's a whole different scenario. There's a whole lot of different scenarios, but the Giants could potentially draft Travis Hunter at number 3 and get trade back up. Not as far as the Texans did, but trade back up, maybe at number in the top 10, or maybe somewhere 11, 12, 13. The draft Shador before the Steelers at 21, and then if they can jump the Saints, that's if the Saints don't believe in Derek Carr. But you know what I'm saying? They could potentially get Shador and Travis. But they'll have to take Travis at number 3. Like, the Giants would have to draft Travis at number 3, because if you don't get Travis at number 3, unless you trade back up to the 4th pick, then, Travis going to be gone. Travis going to be gone. And we're going to look at the reason why I say the Giants could get both Travis and Shador. And then, bro, I'm telling you, if the Giants could pull that off, ticket sales, win, dubs, their chemistry with Malik Neighbors out there, that's the number 1. Travis will be your number 2 receiver, number 3 receiver, but be your number 1 corner. Oh, my goodness, bro. New York will be on fire. New York will be on fire. Mainly New Jersey, because, they don't play in New York. But anyway. But, yeah, man, if there could possibly be a scenario also. The Giants drafting Shador and Travis, man. That'll be amazing, man. Travis and Shador went to Jackson State, went to Colorado, now they on the NFL together. Then guess who's going to tag along? Because they going to tell them to get Shiloh. Boy, you got the trio up there in New York. That'll be stupid crazy. But, hey, all we can do is hope, wish, talk about it. Who knows? But let me explain why I'm saying that, bro. Right here. Boom. Reason why I said that, Giants mock draft lands 2 Colorado superstars in the first round. Now, like I said, they could do it like the Texans did. But, like I said, the Giants wouldn't have to trade back up to the number 4 pick. If they take Travis at 3, they probably wouldn't have to trade up to the number 4 pick. Right now, this guy right here, he got the Giants trading for the number 20 pick. And the Broncos received the number 34 pick, the 65th pick, and the Giants' 2nd round pick for the number 20 pick. Now, I'm thinking they really would have to put their first round in there. That's what I'm thinking. The Giants would have to put their 2026 first round in there to get up there. But I wouldn't even take a chance at 20 if I was them. But I know why he said the Broncos at 20, because right here, we're going to look at this right here. This the money, we're going to go over this too. But as you can see right here, round 1 on the picks. Now, after you get past the Giants, I'm talking about Shador right now. I'm talking about Shador right now. Once you get past the Giants, the Raiders and the Jets done figured out their quarterback situation with a veteran from free agency and a trade. Now you get to the Saints. Now, if he can get past 9, if Shador get past 9 from the Saints, if the Saints don't draft Shador, then he falling for real. He really falling. That's why they said 20, because every other team after the Saints have an established quarterback that they not getting rid of no time soon. So that's why he said 20. Now, like I said, if you go from the Saints at 9, if you get past the Saints at 9 and if they stick with Derek Carr for another year or 2, then Chicago not getting them. They got Caleb Williams. San Francisco not getting them. They got Brock Purdy. The biggest surprise will be Dallas taking them, but they got Dak Prescott and just paying him all that money. 13, Miami got Tua. 14, Indiana got Anthony Richardson, and they just bagged him up with Daniel Jones or whoever they signed. The Falcons just drafted Michael Penix and still got Kirk Cousins making him the highest paid backup ever. The Cardinals got Kyler Murray. 17, Cincinnati got Joe Burrow. 18, Seattle just traded away Geno Smith and signed Sam Darnold. 19, Tampa Bay got Baker Mayfield. 20, Denver got Bo Nix. 21, that's why he said at 20, the Giants come back in the first round at 20 and trade with the Denver Broncos to get Shador. Because if he at 21, the Pittsburgh Steelers, if you watch my last video, I think they have a chance to get Shador if he falls to them at 21. Now, they could potentially trade up with any one of them other teams from 10 to 20 and get Shador. Because like I just told you, don't none of them teams from 10 to 20, none of them teams need a quarterback. None. So if he fall past 9 at the Saints, because they still got Derek Carr, new coach, new culture, might want a new start. So they could draft Shador at number 9, the Saints. But if Shador fall past Saints at number 9, he falling all the way to the 20s and potentially to 21 to the Steelers. But like I said, if the Giants want to trade back up, based off what my guy right here said, the Giants trade for the number 20 pick, but like I said, to the Broncos, but I think they might want a first rounder. And if I'm the Giants, I do that thing. I draft Travis Hunter at 3, and I trade my first round, 2026 first round pick, my second round pick, and my third round pick, because right here, the Giants do have the second round, and they have 2 third rounders. So I would trade my first round 2026, my second round this year, and a third round this year, because I still have another third round pick, 4th, 5th, and 2 7th rounders. And potentially you could trade one of them 7th rounders and a 5th and jump back in the 3rd round or the 4th round, maybe. I don't know. I'm just worried about my franchise. If I can grab 2 franchise difference makers in the same draft that play with each other, that already got chemistry, and I can steal Shador at 20 or potentially even in the teens if he fall past number 9, oh my goodness, bro. You have a dynamic duo already done got the chemistry, like I keep saying. Then you got Malik Neighbors. Shador was throwing with him during the offseason at the Colorado, like, but the potential for this to happen, oh my goodness, bro. For the Giants to land Shador and Travis, wow. But like I'm saying, man, right here, Mel Kiper, he got Shador getting drafted to the Giants, and then Travis Hunter going to the Patriots. Like I said, the Giants will have to take Travis Hunter at 3, because if they don't take Travis Hunter at 3, he gonna go to the Patriots or Jacksonville. Travis Hunter. Shador won't go to the Patriots or Jacksonville. So that's why I say the Giants will have to take Travis first. Then hopefully, if they don't trade back up into the top 10, then hopefully Shador could fall to them at 20 if they trade with the Broncos. And this guy right here, Brandon, I don't know how I say his last name, but Brandon, he is like the most, well, the second most accurate now, but he was like the number 1 accurate mock draft picker in the last 5 years for the mock draft. So, he potentially could be correct on what's going on right here. You know what I'm saying? He got the Titans taking Carter at 1 And then he got the Browns taking Cam Ward, which, I don't want to send Cam Ward to the Browns neither, but, he could come in there and start right now because Deshaun Watson going to be out for the rest of the year again. Because this man, he just stealing at this point. And then the Giants take Travis Hunter at 3, but then he got the Raiders taking Shador at number 6. But I think this was before March 3rd. I think this was before the Raiders traded for Geno Smith. But I could be wrong. I don't remember the exact date, but I'm thinking this before the Raiders traded for Geno Smith, Shador at number 6. But like I said, man, if Shador, if the Raiders don't, I don't think the Raiders gonna draft Shador, man. It ain't no point you trade for Geno Smith. It ain't no point you trade for Geno Smith, then you draft a quarterback. Now, the Falcons was a little different because Geno Smith got a couple more years on him. Now, the Falcons, when they did it and signed Kirk Cousins was coming off a serious injury, and they paid him $180 million. They ain't paying Geno Smith $180 million. Plus, he ain't coming off an injury. So, I don't see why the Raiders would want to draft Shador at number 6. Now, if they could trade back if they wanted to get Shador, but I don't think they gonna draft Shador at all. I don't think they drafting Shador at number 6. And the Jets, potentially another team, they just signed Justin Fields. Now, why would you want to put Justin Fields back in that same situation where he was in Pittsburgh when he got competition for the starting quarterback position? Then that's exactly what you gonna create, the same scenario in New York if you draft Shador at number 7. You gonna create Justin Fields and Shador. That's gonna be the headline. Who gonna be the starting quarterback when you just paid Justin Fields $40 million? Makes no sense. That's why he got them drafting the tight end Tyler Warren. That really ain't no bad pick. To me, that dude, he nasty. He like, I don't want to put no comparison, but he like Travis Kelce and George Kittle, bro. Like, I watched the dude play. Like, he good. And then, like I'm saying, the Panthers, they getting Walker. They ain't no bad pick. Because but like I said, they already got their quarterback too, Bryce Young. They rolling with him. And then the Saints, they taking Stewart. He got the Saints taking Stewart at 9. That's very potential, possible pick right there at number 9 for the Saints because, like I said, they still got Derek Carr. Now, it all depends on what they want to do with Derek Carr if Shador gets drafted to the Saints. Now, that's my pick. One of the teams I think he should go to, the Saints or the Steelers. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because the Saints, he can step in right now, compete for that starting job, and then the Saints still have a veteran backup in Derek Carr, but Shador would be the future. And the same scenario probably with the Falcons, what they doing with Michael Penix and then Kirk Cousins. But, Derek Carr was already on the team, and he'll be out the door anyway. And then from there on, like I said, 10 to 20, they not taking a quarterback. They should not take a quarterback. The only team that could possibly do a money move is the Cowboys. That will be the only team from 10 to 20 that could possibly get Shador just for a money move. Because the headline would be, but then you create the same scenario with the Jets. But it'll be magnified times 10 if he gets drafted by the Cowboys and they still got Dak Prescott with a no trade clause and pay him all that money. Why would you draft Shador? Now, 12 Cowboys, Genty, yeah, perfect, amazing pick. That would be the perfect pick for the Cowboys if they can get Genty at 12. Bro, that would be Cowboy would, they would get their run game established with Dak Prescott back there. Because he ain't really a bad quarterback by the numbers. but he ain't got that killer. He ain't got that dog in him. You know what I'm saying? That's why they don't win nothing. And he ain't got that dog in him. But then like I said, 10 to 20, they don't need a quarterback. As you can see, ain't no quarterback off the board from 10 to 20. But like I said, that's why potentially the Giants could trade back at 20 and get Shador right here at 20 if they trade with the Broncos. But if Shador's still on the board and the Steelers is still at 21, I think he might go to the Steelers. Because all these teams after the Steelers don't need a quarterback neither. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? 10 to 20 don't need a quarterback. And if the Steelers pass on them, 22 to the end of the first round don't need a quarterback. So you got 6, you got 3, 6, 7, 9, 21. Them the only ones that really need a quarterback. But 2 of them, 6 and 7, got a quarterback in the free agency and the trade. So that's why I say take Travis at 3, trade back in at 20, grab Shador. Then you got this scenario right there. I'm telling you, boy. Chargers don't need a quarterback. Packers don't need a quarterback. Vikings don't need a quarterback. Texans don't need a quarterback. Rams, they gonna ride with Stafford again. They probably ain't gonna get the quarterback this year. Ravens definitely don't need one. Lions definitely don't need one. Commanders definitely don't need one. Bills just paid Josh Allen all that money. They ain't getting one. The Chiefs definitely don't need one. The Eagles definitely don't need a quarterback. That's why they say he could potentially fall out of the first round. Now, I ain't gonna lie. If he fall out the first round, but if I'm the Giants and I don't want to trade back in the first round, this is a scenario now. Just scenario. If the Giants take Travis at 3 and the Saints pass on Shador fall all the way to the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Pittsburgh pass on Shador, then I'm the Giants. I'm trading with Cleveland for that 33rd pick. That's if Cleveland draft Cam Ward. Because another team might try to trade up in the second round to get Shador. But the Giants, if they stay pat, if Cleveland get Cam Ward, then I'm still trying to make that trade just so I be the team that trade with Cleveland and nobody else. Then I know I could get Shador at the first pick in the second round. That's a reach there. That ain't even a scenario that I think is possible, but it could be. I don't think it's gonna happen, but that could be a possible scenario just based on what I'm telling y'all right now. Shador falling to 21 to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and if they pass on him, he definitely not getting drafted in the first round. But definitely not. Now we're gonna play with this mock draft simulator right here, man. So I'm already the Tennessee Titans, so I already got it set up. And I'm gonna draft Carter. I'm gonna base it off what we just looked at. Where it at? I just had it. I clicked on the wrong thing. Oh, here it is right here. He got Carter going to the Titans. That's what we're going to do. We're going to draft Carter, and we're going to see where Travis and Shador go. Here you go. Cam Ward. See, look. Giants didn't even draft Travis. Travis fell to the Raiders. Oh, my goodness. Shador at the Saints. Told you. Told you. This is a simulator. I don't know what metrics they use. I don't know what metrics they use as far as how they determining these picks. Ain't no way Gentry fall to the Commanders, bro. Hey, man. Hey, bro. Gentry fall to the... I ain't even looking at them right now. If Gentry fall to the Commanders, oh, my goodness. That mean the Cowboys took an old lineman. They would do that, though. But for Travis to fall to number 6 to the Raiders, because the Giants passed on Shador and Travis to get an offensive tackle, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. Then Shador go to number 9 to the Saints. Like I said, big possibility. Big possibility Shador go to the Saints. But like I said, if he fall past 9, 10 to 20, they don't need a quarterback. Even Steelers, they got an offensive tackle. They're running back. I'm going to go Titans again, and I'm going to pick Carter again just to see if they do something different. Cam Ward, nope. Giants still went offensive tackle. Travis went to the Jaguars now. Shador went to the Jets this time. Gentry went to the Saints. That's not going to happen. They still got, what's his name? Alvin Kamara. They still got Kamara over there. They ain't going to need him. Look at this here. They got Trevor going to Jacksonville. I already said that's a possibility. Shador going to the Jets. Could be a possibility, but why would you do that? Why would you do that when you just signed Justin Fields? I wouldn't want to put my potentially franchise quarterback or a quarterback for the next 10 years, maybe 5, 6, 7, 10 years. Why would I want to put him with competition with a young quarterback that I know for sure will have the media attention? And that's another thing too with Shador when they talk about him falling out the first round and this team not taking him because he come with that media attention. Cause they not showing Cam Ward, they not showing Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe. They not showing them on ESPN, Sports Center. They showing Shador, bro. They not even showing Cam Ward. They saying he's the number 1 quarterback. They not even showing him that much on Sports Center. They showing Shador. What's Shador going? What's Shador going? What's Shador going? Come on, bro. Y'all know the deal. They do it again. They do it again. Now, I don't think I can do a trade. We the Giants right now. Cam Ward went. Gentry went number 2. What? Travis. Saints traded. Shador falling. Shador to the Colts. No. That's definitely not gonna happen. Gentry at 2. Hey man, if that happened, you seen it here first. Gentry to the Browns at 2. Ain't nobody saying that. The Browns say it's Cam Ward or we bust. We ain't taking a quarterback. I don't know, bro. This one here just threw me off. Should do it to the Colts? No. I like that 15 Malachi starts to the Falcon, but they need an edge. Falcons need an edge. Especially with Walker still on the board. He going to the Cincinnati, but the Falcons, they'll do something stupid. But there's some names up here. These boys weren't even projected in the first round. They got them going in the first round. Let's do it again. Let's beat the Giants again and see something different. See, then they draft the offensive tackle. They got the Browns being a wild card, boy. I could see Genty going to the Raiders. He possibly could. Bro, it's gonna be the top 10 gonna be crazy. Cause like the Browns is potentially the wild card. Like they could draft anybody. The Browns could draft anybody. They could take an offensive lineman. They could take Genty. They could take Travis. They could take Shador. They could take anybody. They could take a receiver. They could take anybody, bro. But we know what they need. But they could take anybody. Like after Cam Ward come off the board, if he don't go number one, then the Browns probably gonna get him. That's what everybody thinking. But they potentially don't have to do that. And like what I was saying on my live video, go watch that video on my live. The Titans don't have to take a quarterback. Everybody forgetting that. They think that they just assuming the Titans are going to take a quarterback. The Titans don't have to take a quarterback. The Titans can actually trade their pick, trade the first pick, trade back 2 or 3, grab some more picks because they don't want a quarterback. And they could potentially draft Hunter or Carter. Now, the Titans trade would depend on who they trade with and how far they go back. But I would think it would be Cleveland or the Giants. Because there was a scenario the Giants trading up the number 1 and getting Cam Ward. So let's go to Titans right here, and then I'll show y'all right here. When it come up, boom. We got 3 trade offers. See, Cleveland, Giants, Pittsburgh. We're going to do Giants. See, Cam Ward. Then the Titans, they still ain't got a pick at number 3. But why wouldn't you want to pick? But now you got Carter or Hunter. They just like they take Carter. Travis go to the Patriots. Shador go back to the Saints. They're way more realistic. This one. Genty to the Broncos. Wow. Saints trade back up. Boy, I'm telling you, boy. Now, how would you... I was trying to figure out how would you trade. I don't know how I could trade on here. I don't think I could trade on here. for that draft. But y'all get it, man. Like I said, that could be a real possibility with the Giant. This right here. That could be a real possibility. But like, okay, let's look at the money now. See, they going up every year because the salary cap going up. So let's just say Cam Ward go to the Titans. He making $43 million. 4 years, $43 million. 27.9 signing bonus. 27.9 signing bonus. Ain't played a snap in the NFL. And then it did drop off. So Travis will make 39, get picked up by the Giant. And then Shador looks like number 9, $24 million. Well, that's a big drop. That's a $20 million drop off that quick. Just the number 9. But even second round, well, they done $10 million. They done went up. $4 million signing bonus. What 7th round get? 7th round. They can get 4 years. Dang, they can sign them up for 4 years. They ain't losing that. It's 132,000 signing bonus. They ain't getting nothing. You in the NFL though. When the last $1 million signing bonus. The 3rd round. Pick number 95. Kansas City Chiefs. Boy, if you get drafted 1st to 3rd round, number 95 pick, you a millionaire. Just by signing your name on that paper. Straight millionaire, boy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Telling you, boy. I'm just trying to think. Like if they traded a player to get that pick to move up. Like I don't even know who would you trade or be able to trade. Okay, I don't know all that money and dead cap. Just to get the pick, and I don't know what the other teams like who you would trade with to get they salary cap. You gotta take all that into effect too when you're looking at it. Let me see if they got him on now. Man, they ain't got the Cardinals on him. They done left them off. Oh, I'm tripping. They sure ain't got them. Oh, they in the NFC. I'm tripping. Cardinals in the NFC. I'm tripping. They still ain't got them. They ain't updated it. He's still on the Browns, man. Still on the Browns. Yup. Still got them on now. Well, it updated right here. My cousin, y'all. I'm looking at his contract. Dang, come on now. 2 years. 14 and a half average salary. 16 million guaranteed. 2 years, 29 million. Free agent at 2027, 33. Okay, he did the contract he was on with the Browns. 4 years, 57 million. Man, they still owe him. From I don't know all the Western name, but for like the dead cap and all that, I think they still got to pay them. But that thing give you a breakdown, but no breakdown. But yeah, I think they're gonna do it. See, then game, see 110 snap, 3 sack, 26 tackle, 13 solo, 13 assisted. Yeah, 4 sack on 2 years with a giant. But yep. That my take though. There it is.